Greetings, Patrick here. I have Cheetah Will View, and welcome to day 2 of Mark Polonia Week. So yesterday we covered Mummy Shark. Today we are back at it, and we are covering a movie called HOUSE SQUATCH. Shadyville is plagued by sightings of a hairy creature known as the House Squatch. Locals are panicked, and the area's powerful real estate firm is pressuring the sheriff to kill it because they want it to stop because of certain real estate. It's a battle of wits and wackiness as the town mobilizes to drive the creature back to the forest. If it was just that, it would actually be like perfect. But it's not. We'll talk about it. So this movie is from SRS. SRS, our good friend Ron Bonk. He's the one that produced this one. And this was not only was this directed by Mark Polonia, but he also had help from his son Anthony Polonia. And Mark did do some writing on this film as well. Once again, it features the usual cast of Polonia Pals. In this one, we have Tim Hatch, Ken Van Zant plays the sheriff. Haven't seen him in one of these movies in a while. A good friend, Jeff Kirkendall, plays Duncan, and Titus Himmelberger is Baxter, the evil real estate tycoon. There's also some victims here. Jamie Morgan plays one, and Yoli Canales, who was in Mummy Shark, she's also in this as well. This film was actually released in 2022. It's an hour and 10 minutes long. The story, such as it is pretty much just like the synopsis said. It's a giant squatch is roaming around, and he's looking for empty houses. And when he finds an empty house, he then becomes a house squatch. And so now the whole plot is to drive him out of the house. Basically, the squatch has squatted into the house. Could have been squatch sitter instead of house squatch. Could have been squatch. Could have been squatch. Squatting squatch. What can I say more about this movie? It's really sort of weird. I gotta tell you. First of all, I gotta mention that I did a review recently of a movie called Fart the Movie. And the reason I mention this is our good friend Eric from Hey Internet. It's Eric. He challenged me to watch this movie. It was about this movie about this guy who fell asleep and, he had a farting problem. And I know, and I said, this is the movie you should have sent me, Eric. This is a movie that features farting in over 60% of the movie, and none of it's funny. It's weird. It's really weird. It's all pretty much what happens. Either the victims are farting, or the squatch is farting, or the real estate tycoon is farting. The other thing that's really weird about this movie is the music. The music is so all wrong. It plays like it's a background music for a Hallmark movie. I know that this is a comedy. This is definitely Mark's attempt at doing a creature feature comedy movie, and it would have been pretty cool if you could have, if you could have cut down the farting to maybe like the first victim. Okay, we get it. You heard one fart, you've heard one in a movie. It's all you really need. But the music itself, it's like I said, if you would have actually had the music, to be normal, you might have gotten away with this a little bit. The fact that the sheriff is just as dangerous as the House Squatch. That's another angle that really get them played up for laughs. Um, but the music is really off-putting. It's just, I don't know. This doesn't feel right, even for a comedy. Um, the acting is definitely with old friends. Um, Ken Van Zant and Jeff Kirkendall. They've done many movies together, as has Tim Hatch, and it shows here. In the acting's fine. They're all having a lot of fun. And it shows. It really shows. It's just. But I think that what really hurts this movie, and the Squatch itself for what it is, not too bad. Not too bad. I was okay with it. Yeah, it's a man in a mask, but it doesn't look necessarily like it. It's actually pretty well done. I mean, the costume looks 100% like brand new, so it doesn't look like it's been chewed up by a dog before the actor wore it. The size is appropriate. I mean, the Squatch is about the same size as Ken Van Zant, and he's a big guy. He's a big dude, and the Squatch is about the same height, of not just a couple inches taller, which may not seem like much, but it is. It does help the movie a little bit. Like okay, it's not. It's. I mean, I saw one where they're Bigfoot. They're Bigfoot on Bigfoot versus Zombies, which is another Mark Polonia movie. Well, their Bigfoot was like 5 foot nothing. He just like it looks more like it looks more like Chaka from Land of the Lost than it did like a fearsome creature. So they got it right here with the House Squatch. It does look appropriate, and that was actually a nice touch. Um, uh, it's like got to give credit where credit's due. And I know that a lot of these movies are, they're not played for the art houses, but still, when something gets done right, we got to acknowledge it. And the other thing I think that I'm not sure if this is I'm not sure if this is Mark. I think it is, but they've been using some overhead drone shots as of late. They had some drone footage here. Now my only question is was this stock footage, or was this from Mark himself? I don't know, but if it was from Mark himself, they did a really nice job with it. If it's stock footage, they still did a nice job with it by putting it in the movie as a stock footage, because it's a really cool shot. Um, Man, that is something that independent filmmakers will be able to do that more and more. We'll be able to use drones to get some really good overhead shots. Because not every production can afford a crane, right? A crane, camera on a crane, it's tens of thousands of dollars. But doing drones to set establishing shots, yeah. Uh, yeah, this movie's 70 minutes long. It's the same, there's some weird kills here. They had one. The first kill was this guy who wore a mask. He found a mask, and he put it on, and people mistake him for a woman because they're hitting up on him. I don't know what that's about. It's just. I mean, another man's funny. It's another man's going like, what the hell is that for? I don't know. But House Squatch was definitely a little bit better than the Mummy Shark. It was definitely better than Mummy Shark. I liked House Squatch a tiny bit better. I would have liked it a whole lot better with a lot less fart jokes and just a little bit better music to it. It could have pulled it off. Otherwise, it is what it is, right? A Polonia movie is like I said, a Mark Polonia movie is bulletproof as far as criticism is concerned. You can critique it all you want, but it's still not going to stop the people who love Mark Polonia movies from watching it. So. Well, that is it. So that's the end of our review of House Squatch. And we'll be back with day 3 Mark Polonia Week. Again, we're doing this to a lead up to Grossfest. Tim and Tom Gross, they are having the Grossfest on August 1st and 2nd, and their guest of honor for the weekend is Mark Polonia, and this is just our little tribute to that, and we're having fun with it. All right, well, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider dropping a comment or let us know what your favorite Mark Polonia film was, and yeah, drop a comment on House Squatch if you've seen it. Tell us what you think. All right, we're out of here. Peace.